Welcome back from the break, Rams, and to another week of the Red Zone. I'm Sydney Wicker.
And I'm Ethan Bird. The CSU women's basketball team had their first game of the season today, and it tipped off with thousands of students from the Poudre School District. Here we have Laura DeVos driving into the lane, pulling up for a nice little jumper. She's already making a home there in the paint, as she always has.
Yeah, and here we see the Eagles dropping it back to Peters. She's going to put the Eagles on the board, but not for long.
Next up, we have Jacobs going up for the contested layup and missing, but there's Annie Brady to put it back for the second chance point. The Rams had 13 of those on the night.
Yeah, and then here we see the Rams coming down the court. Once again, DeVos wide open. She's going to go ahead and put that right in the bucket. Way to hoop. The Rams will win 102-51. Coach Ryan Williams and this team was so fired up about the win, but so was the crowd.
I don't know about you, but like when we were walking in the gym and they were like chanting CSU, I got like goosebumps. I was like, that's crazy.
No, it's
unreal. It's an unreal feeling.
And to see those little girls see, our ladies perform, that's pretty cool. And the guys too. I'm sure those little boys were like, wow, I wouldn't want to go against Annie Brady, right? So hopefully those kids were impressed. I think these are really good role models for those kids. There was good sportsmanship today during the game by both teams, and so fun day.
I really like how Coach Williams mentions Annie Brady there. This is her, and the special thing about her is this is her first season back after missing all of last season due to an injury, and she starts off with 12 points and 9 rebounds, missing out on that first triple-double by only 1 rebound. And, speaking of double digits, the Rams had 5 players score double-digit points tonight, and that's just huge.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It was so exciting to see that. And just to even hear Ryan Williams talk about Annie Brady and the kind of inspiration that she could already be having on some of those young players was awesome. But a player I want to talk about was Laura DeVos. There was one point where she went down in that game, and it was a little concerning. She showed a lot of emotion in her face, and I was a little worried about her then and there. We haven't heard anything about an injury, but she did get up, and she was able to walk it off a little bit. But if she was out for the Rams this season, that could really hurt them this season, especially seeing how strong they were and how strong they came out today.
Well, she's been a strong anchor and player for this team the whole season, so best wishes for Laura, and hopefully a speedy recovery if one needs to happen. And the CSU women's soccer team gained entry to their first ever Mountain West tournament. The Rams faced off against Fresno State today in the opening round. After 120 minutes of no scoring, it came down to my favorite word in sports, a shootout.
Malinka Zink here in the goal for FSU. She's going to make a shot, but it's going to be blocked.
And there's a second shot coming from Gracie Armstrong, who's usually the scorer from the Rams, but that's also blocked. And finally, the third block for Zink after a Caitlin Abrams shot. The Rams, they didn't look great in that shootout. And the Rams head coach after the game said that some of that inexperience came, you could see that during the shootout. And it's just a team who doesn't have all of that experience. They have never been in the tournament, and I think it showed during that shootout. Yeah,
absolutely. And Fresno State would win that game 1-0 and move on to the second round. But after setting a program best record at 12-5-2 for CSU, head coach Bill Hempen was awarded Mountain West Coach of the Year. Hempen helped the Rams to double the single program season win record, and this is Hempen's first Coach of the Year award since 2003.
And the CSU volleyball team is heading on the road to California to take on Fresno State. So, Sydney, who is on your volleyball watch list?
Yeah, absolutely, Ethan. The last time the Rams and the Bulldogs faced off, Junior Desiree Sukov was the leader for Fresno State with 13 kills and 36 total attacks against the Rams. Sukov was the Rams' toughest opponent, and she has now 285 kills on the season. Despite her success with the Bulldogs, she also does have 131 errors for the team.
And then for myself, I'm going with CSU player Sasha Colombo. And since the injury of Paulina Hogard Jensen last week, she's come down with a bit of an ankle injury. Sasha has had to step in that middle blocker role. She's got 75 kills, hitting 29.3% with 30 blocks. And on last Thursday, in the Rams' win over Air Force, she really set herself into that spot at middle blocker. She had a season-high 10 kills and even hit for 47.4%. And now for San Diego State, I've got Hannah Thurnland. The Rams play them on Thursday. Thurland has 315 kills, 181 digs, and is averaging 3.54 kills per set. However, the last time the Rams played San Diego State here in Fort Collins, she only had 9 kills and hit 12.1%. The Rams blockers will have to replicate that in order to slow her down.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking at the Rams, Jessica Jackson has really stepped up in the lineup, and she's coming in hot. Jackson has tallied 169 kills and is the Rams' second leader in total attacks with 488. She's always a key player to look out for.
Absolutely. And with every day that passes, the perfect Mountain West record becomes more attainable for this Rams team. And I really think it can happen. I don't see anybody slowing them down.
Yeah, absolutely. My only worry for them is with Paulina being out. I hope they don't get a little too tired in their rotation. But, this Rams team has shown their dominance, and I'm excited for them.
Absolutely. I mean, who isn't? And something that I'm excited for, it is finally time for Tell Me I'm Stupid. And I know it's been a while, Sid, so let me know. Will I be telling you you're stupid tonight?
Ethan, I really don't know if you'll be telling me I'm stupid tonight or not. But tell me I'm stupid, Ethan. Fans should not leave games early.
Sydney, I've watched The Office about 6 times through at this point in my life, so nobody knows me better than Michael Scott, so I'd like to hear from him for a second.
That is a good point.
It is a good point, Sydney. However, I'm kind of stuck. What do you do when you're getting absolutely blown out? Just ask my family. I'm a bear to be around whenever the Rockies lose, and I'm there to watch it. So sometimes you have to wonder, would it be better for your own mental health to leave early? But, if it's a close game, I see no point in ever leaving a game, and if you do, you're stupid.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you there.
Okay.
Looking at the history that the Rams have had in their audience, they always have had fans leaving. We always see it by halftime, from the games that we've been to. But, that I'm a Michigan fan, and this is a team that I've always watched. When I was at the Michigan-Notre Dame game a couple weeks ago, Michigan was blowing them out for quite some time there, and it was pouring rain. Look at these shots. These fans did not leave. A couple of students from the student section left, but nobody had left this game. My grandpa had gotten his kidneys out 2 days before this, and he stood through this rain, and he loved every second of it, and so did I. So I have no excuse. Your team could be blowing another team out of proportion, or you could be losing, but you stand there and you soak it all in, and you just live in that moment, because that's what football's all about.
Well, I am sure that was something very special to sit through and watch, but also you have to look at the culture of Michigan football. The culture for Michigan football, that's a historic program. That's a program that wins. The Rams have won 3 in a row, but look at last season, look at basically any other home game this season. There's a lot of hope that needs to be gained back and a lot of trust between fans and the team. But, why wouldn't you want to stick around and watch a blowout? That I don't understand. UNLV last week, the stands were empty pretty darn quick, and the fans were finally able to watch their team win and win dominantly. So I don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I think no matter what the score is, you should be there and support your team. That's what it's about. You're there as a fan, you're there to support, and no matter the history, Michigan, like we said, has an iconic program, but CSU, if they want to build that, they got to start it somewhere.
I agree, and part of it, for professional sports that you may go watch, you are paying for it, so why would you leave?
Exactly.
That's probably the stupidest thing that you can do is waste your money. Well, Rams, that is all the time that we have for this week, but to stay updated on sports throughout the week, be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at sports_CTV. I'm Ethan Bird.
And I'm Sydney Wicker. Tune back in tomorrow night for Local Beats, where Maddie Steele and Dana Aragon will be bringing you another lyric breakdown. And they've also made their own song. You don't want to miss it. Until next week, have a great night, Rams.